This is the biggest mistake I made as a yoga teacher. And now looking back, I want to kick myself in the butt. Welcome to today's episode where I look back at my 20-year career in the wellness industry and kind of shout out all the things that I had the intuition, but I didn't take action on. And trust me, guys, the number one asset in a business growth opportunity is to take action, even if it's a little one. I'm going to share my story of a 4 million view post that could have made me a ton of money. I'm Ari, and today, let's see all the things that I've done that really I'm going to help you avoid as a yoga teacher or wellness professional. So when I had my studio, I had an awesome studio here in Miami, and we were award winning, we were profitable, everything was great. And I remember looking at my business partner one day and I was like, hey, we should go online. And she was like, nah, I don't want to do that. I just want to teach in person. I'm like, are you sure? We could, maybe start a YouTube channel. And she was like, nah. And because, I don't know, I'm a people pleaser to a certain extent, I was like, all right, fine. And I let it go. So there's two mistakes here. One is that I gave in. I gave my power away. And I did this a few times in my studio. Also, I was doing network marketing. I was promoting and educating around essential oils and this amazing Ayurvedic line from Deepak Chopra. And people were like, oh, you're selling too much. Oh, you're everybody thinks that you want to sell them stuff. And so I was like, oh, no, no, no. And I shrunk. So both of these moments potentially could have made me $1 million. And I'm telling you why, because back then, let me see, this is 2016, 2015, when I was in this position, it was the dawn of online yoga. I probably could have killed it with a YouTube channel with steady videos. I actually was featured on a big platform called Gaiam, and I'll put the link below if you guys want to check it out. But it was crazy, right? I shrunk. So that's number one mistake. Don't shrink. Don't let other people waver you out of your dreams. Don't let people waver you out of your ideas because they could be $1 million ideas. And I'm sure we all have people like that. And, something that I coach about a lot is called your anchors and your rockets. And, sometimes you think, oh, an anchor is good, is grounding. But what does an anchor do? It sinks. And if you're connected to an anchor that's being thrown overboard, it'll take you down with it. And then you're stuck. So a rocket, which, can I give you a small fact? I was named after a rocket. So my name, Arianne, in France, it's the French space. It's like NASA. So I've got a lot of that rocket energy. But regardless, here's the thing. I shrunk. I gave away my power. I was like, okay, I guess not. And honestly, looking back, I've done that so many times. And here I'm going to ask you, when have you given away your power? When have you had an idea that was maybe a little bit crazy, a little bit, out of the norm, and somebody said, no, 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 I don't think that's a good idea. And you said, okay. So as much as I want to sit here and tell you how I'm so successful, I could have been 1 million times more successful, but I learned that lesson. So imagine you have a belt and you're putting notches on a belt. That was one of my notches. So there's a great saying in business, in self-development, called you earn or you learn. So in that stance, I didn't earn, but I learned. Now, I didn't learn on the spot because I was already okay, whatever, that's fine. She said no, or, they said that I shouldn't do this anymore, so I'm going to stop. And I didn't learn at that moment. I learned 5 years later when I looked back and I actually took the time to reflect and be honest with myself and really look at, what were these qualities within me that were letting me give away my power? And it's been such a recurring pattern for me. And it's one of the things that I struggle with the most is confrontation. It's standing up for myself. And I just want to sit here and tell you that as much as, social media, everything's success, and not just for me, but for other people, there's a visage. There's a lot of internal shit that we deal with here as leaders, as visible authorities, as guides. I've had to work through a lot of stuff. But now here's the key thing. If I didn't at least present the opportunity, if I didn't present the idea, I wouldn't have gotten that lesson. So what makes you bolder, brighter, bigger, stronger, faster in business, in life, is taking the leap and at least putting the idea out there. And you never know, right? You never know what's going to happen. It's the risk. It's like, oh, I want to build a funnel. Let's see what happens. Oh, I'm going to send out the email. Let's see what happens. And if you don't get any results, who cares? You did it. And now you ask yourself, how can I do this better? Oh, let me put out the webinar. 2 people showed up. That's great. I sent the workshop ideas to 7 different studios in my 5-mile radius and only 1 said yes. That's great. So don't be here in your journey, right? Don't be here in your journey. And this is again wisdom, not advice. And don't do something because you're scared of a no. You're scared of rejection, right? More no's lead you to your yes. More doors closing in your face leads you to your open door. And when I launched my online coaching business, right, I maybe have shared this story before, and maybe I haven't. So when I launched my online yoga, like as a mentor, which was a completely new business for me, I had been a yoga teacher, right, which is very different than being a business coach. You know, maybe people saw me as already having some level of credibility and authority, which is great. Like I had been doing a lot of that through my travels and my teachings. But regardless, this is a very different space. And then doing it online, completely different space, right? And I led one webinar, my first webinar after I had invested like, I don't know, $27,000 to like change my mindset, change who I was. It was probably the best money I've ever spent. And I led this one webinar. But you know what I did before that webinar? I started figuring out who my resources were. And I connected with this company called Be Yogi. I'm still like an ambassador for them. I write articles. You guys can get yoga insurance through me if you want. So I connected with this company and I was like, hey guys, do you want to do this? And they helped me promote it. So here's another lesson, right? Which hopefully serves you. Knock on as many doors as you can. You never know who's going to say yes. Same thing with my clothing line with Move. It's like, who can I connect with? Who can I send a message to and be like, hey, I don't know if you knew this, but I have a clothing line. I don't know if you are interested. Maybe you want to support a small business versus going to like TJ Maxx or going to Lululemon. Do you want to support my small business? FYI, if you guys want to support my small business, the link is below as well. But I want to avoid the costly mistake of not trying, of not stepping through the boundary of fear of potential rejection, right? When you have the big idea, already you might be doing things that are working for you. Keep doing those, right? Double down on what's working for you. But if you've got that like download when you're in the shower or you're excited about something, see what action you can take. And within that action, see if you're earning or you're learning, because that was like probably my $1 million mistake, or maybe $10 million by now. It's been so long. Like I could have been like printing money on YouTube, right? Who knows? Here's another huge mistake, right? So we've gone through a few and there's probably a litany more. And, I try not to revel in the things that I did that didn't work. So here's another though big mistake is that when I had those ideas, not only did I give my power away, but I could have done them on my own, right? I didn't need that validation. I didn't need that like, yes, I'll do it with you. Because sometimes we seek partnership. And let me tell you that like most partnerships don't work. Most partnerships don't work. And they might work for a little bit, but then something happens. There's an internal struggle. There's a disagreement. There's a vision that's not in alignment, or personalities, right? We all change, we all grow. And as we grow older, maybe we get a little bit tougher, we get a little bit, harder to work with. I get it. I'm guilty of this. But what happens is that make sure you keep your ownership, keep your essence. Again, it's part of like giving that power away. You don't need somebody else to help you. You might need a guide. Like I'm here to guide people, but I'm not here to do it with you in a partnership. We could collaborate, but don't give away, like, don't feel like you need that like validation from somebody else, or that like they're the missing piece to your journey, because that's potentially hiring out of desperation. That's partnering out of desperation and seeing a void in you. So I'm going to turn this into a teaching moment real quick. We all have strengths, right? And when we know how to operate from our highest strength, like for example, I know that my highest strength is a creator and a builder. I love building things. Like, give me a funnel, give me a website, give me a project, right? I'm a planner. Like, I know those are my highest strengths. And I know that there's a lot of things that I can do better. So in these instances, right, the natural tendency is, well, if I partner with that person, they're going to complete me. And we do this in relationships, right? Like, we find our partner who would like, oh, they complete me. I'm thinking like Austin Powers here, like, you complete me. But that's not the case. We are whole beings. We are one. We are perfect and complete. There's actually a mantra that I would love to share. And I'll put it in the show notes. That's all about being perfect and complete. It's all being about like one with the universe, that you are a fully whole person. You might not have all the skill sets, but don't hire or don't partner up with people out of desperation. Connect with people to create something beautiful, but within your own autonomy, within your own autonomy. And I know that's a little bit harder to say because, like, for example, I love collaborating. Like, I'm a Gemini, so I'm always looking for my twin, and I'm like, oh, this would be great. And I have some amazing collaborations. Something that, something that's going to come up now with a good friend of mine, but they're collaborations. I'm not forming an LLC. I'm not their business partner. It's like, let's do this project together. Let's have clear boundaries. So here's where, if you guys have seen my like 9 environments of business, my core, like the legal strip is so clutch. We need that legal strip, right? We need to have clear agreements, clear boundaries, clear expectations. And looking back in all my partnerships, I was like, oh no, we worked on it on trust. Even in my family business with my dad, the last collaboration I did with my dad for my other store, my e-com store, I made him sign a paper and he was so reluctant to it. And I was like, no, sign the paper. I've made this mistake too many times. So we earn or we learn. And I want to sit here as a voice of support for you, but also literally coming in from a place of wisdom. Like, I did not build a multi-million-dollar life, right? Within all my assets, all my business, all my investments, right? Like, I didn't do that without taking risks, without earning, without learning, without seeing myself in the mirror. So if you have the idea to launch that, low ticket funnel and sell a product, do it. Now, do it with, planning and strategy. If you want to write the book, write the book. Don't let somebody tell you, what are you going to do with that book? Write the freaking book. Make it be your thing. If you want to go and take a sabbatical, plan, do it. Like, don't give up on your dreams is what I'm saying. Don't give up on your ideas. Don't not see yourself as that like bright shining star, because who you are, who you embody, the qualities, the wisdom, the experiences, this is what makes you more powerful. So hopefully this landed well today. And you'll see I'm coming up with some really fun series about very strategic funnel building, digital products, courses. So I hope that you stay connected for the fun and for the lessons. And once again, I'm Ari or Arianne, and I'm your business coach that speaks from the heart and helps you get to your next level. So please subscribe, like, and share, and I'll see you in the next one.